I'm on Sonita right now. I have the low pork grazing bit on her. The cones and the board is out because Raven was just using them with rider. She has started working rider some, doing some groundwork, doing her despooking stuff and all that kind of stuff with her. A little bit of riding. She was just doing that with him, so that's why these boards and cones are out. My main objective with Sonita here is to work on getting her more fit, more round. Right now, if you saw the video of me loping her, she loped nice. Steer nice, everything was nice, but she needs to be more fit. She needs to hold herself together better round. So today is kind of what would be like a 50% day, mainly working on fitness, kind of like an aerobic day. Bridle up and move around. Right there, when she comes out of bridle, loses her collection, I'll take a hold with my legs or my hands. She's one that she'll get lazy and I'll end up putting more work into keeping her going than what she puts into going. So I have to pay attention to how I'm using my legs, because if I'm not careful, I'll end up using a lot of leg to get a little bit done. And that's going to be a problem later if I let that go on. I need to use my legs, use my body, use my seat to move forward, to ride forward. But it has to be, she has to do her part. Riding is supposed to be 50-50, 50% me, 50% the horse. Right there, she kind of stumbled over the board and bridled up a little harder. 50% me, 50% the horse. And if she's not doing her part, then I'm doing most of the work, then that's going to be an issue as her training progresses. So I kind of set my hands, I'll adjust my rein length once in a while. She's bad about hanging on my hands. Right there, went over the board, she inverted. I bumped on her face a little bit, bumped up my spurs a little bit. If you hear that hollering, that's Mariah running around in my big arena. Mariah and Sonita were turned out next to each other, and Sonita was out by Mariah when I went and grabbed her to saddle her up for this ride. And Mariah ain't too happy that I took her buddy away. But that's part of it. Sonita is behaving. Mariah's running around a little bit. But when it's the other way around, and I take Mariah and ride her, she rides fine. She looks around a good bit. We've talked about that in her videos as far as her looking around. But she don't do anything bad. Every horse needs to be able to be taken away from their pasture buddy and go work. If your horse is buddy sour, then you need to work on that. Whoop, didn't really curve to the left. Left shoulder kind of fell. We've been trotting around enough that she's starting to think it feels like work and getting a little lazy about how she carries her body. Not going to let that happen. You as a rider need to be paying attention to your horse, and everything that your horse does needs to be correct. You might have 50, 70, and 90% days where some days they're working 50% effort, 70% effort, 90% effort, but every day should be 100% correct. Just because you're letting a horse have an easy day doesn't mean you let them have a sloppy day. So we're trotting around. It's going to be easy. Working on building her fitness. Steering around, guiding around. A lot of these kind of days I do out in my big arena. It's a little bit more room. They don't get as bored and I can do more straight lines. But it's really hard to video out there. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford a camera that will record out there good. Right now I'm not even really sure what kind of camera that would be. A little bit of left leg in the hip, push the hip over, good girl. We'll do that again. Everything I've done to this point in this ride has been moving the shoulders around. Move her hip around, get her hips up, gotta keep going. Get her hips soft. She's pretty good with picking the correct lead in her lope departures, pretty good. But we need to be getting it all the time. Good lope departures, pushing with her back in. Here we go. And then working towards lead changes. They had Sonita in with another trainer, and they pretty high-end reining trainer. She got called out because she wasn't going to make a futurity horse. This year would be her futurity year. She wouldn't make it, so she got called out for that reason. But she's still a good horse, and I think, as far as getting trained for reining, a very good horse, but isn't going to make a futurity horse. A little immature, a little slow matured. I've talked about that in her earlier videos. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be her playlist will be come up at the end of the video. Hip in. There we go. Shoulders over. There we go. Nice. Horse has a lot of nice moves. Let's walk a little bit. She has a lot of nice moves. And I talked about in a video about horse being willing to be dictated to completely, or a horse that needed to be micromanaged. It was Mariah's, because Mariah kind of needs to be micromanaged. She wants to be dictated to completely. She wants you to tell her what to do. When you're moving her around and you're not really telling her something, she's a little bit unsure. And I have been challenging her a little bit with a few different things. And that's kind of brought her along, got her to mature a little bit. We've worked cows a little bit, done a few other things. And that's helped to bring along her maturity. Now see how we're walking pretty slow. I'd like that to be a little bit faster. Not much, just a little bit. For ranch riding, it needs to be a good bit faster. But for now, just a little faster. Get a little faster, then we can speed it up later. Really think she could have a future in reining a working cow horse, but we're just going to keep bringing her along and see what she does. As long as she keeps progressing and training, we'll keep giving her a chance. So ask her to kind of step around both directions and let's see what we get. I'll walk a couple of left circles and then step around to the left and see what happens. She has been really good about kind of locking in to a direction just as soon as we start to step around in that circle. There we go. Now she's thinking left. Let's walk out. That's nice. I was bumping her a little bit. I've talked about that I really want them to maintain their rhythm without the bump. But you have to balance that with maintaining the rhythm without the bump with effort. So there, I asked her to give me a little bit of effort. And the main reason I asked for effort is because she was slow in the circle. Now, I did a video lesson with somebody the other day, and their horse was really similar. And they were bumping a lot in the spin and then leaving and walking, basically just like what I did. And we'll walk forward. And that has a big drawback, because if I'm spinning and I'm bumping to make her put more effort into spinning, and then we just walk out and be kind of easy out here, then easy here, hard there, she's going to want to be here and not be there. So what I have to do, what I'm going to have to be careful with her, is that out here has to be harder than right there. It's hard with a horse that wants to be a little bit lazy, but the way you do that is step around soft, and then leave hard, bump on her, bridle her up. So the out here is a harder place to be, and that spin actually wasn't that bad. So out here is a harder place to be. Over bridle her on purpose, bumping on her kind of hard with my spurs on purpose. Now she's trying to take me back right there. Let's let her go back there. Not too bad. I'm gonna let her walk out on that. Back end was moving around because this shoulder needs to be a little softer. Stuff we need to work on. Let's go back to the left. So remember, in the spin, needs to be a better place to be than out here. So let's make her work out here. Work, work, work. Work, work, work. Very bridled, very soft. Off my legs, bump my spurs. She's trying to go there. So let's go there. Get soft. And walk out easy. She puts effort into there, we get to be easy. Good girl. She don't put effort into there, then we trot out a little bit harder. She's not dumb, for sure. And the nice thing about her is, even though she wants to be slow, she wants to be a little on the lazier side, if I give her a reason, she will give me effort. Just have to be smart about giving her a reason. If I'm banging on her all the time, whether it's a spin or loping or whatever, if I'm banging on her all the time, she's not going to want to. But if I give her a reason to give me effort, she's sensible about it. Now let's do that again. Work, work, work. So if you have a horse that you want to send to me for training, message me and we talk about it. Whether that horse is for reining, ranch riding, working cow horse, or even if it's a horse that you want that type of handle put on. Not really giving me the effort. So let's make her work again. So even if it's a horse that you want that kind of work handle put on it, but may not ever show in those events, send me a message and we'll talk about it. All right, let's go back here. Easy, step around. And we'll walk out easy. Wasn't as good as I'd like it to be, but it's better than what we started with. So this is Sonita. I'll put a link here somewhere to her playlist on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching.